Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome to this episode of The Breaks. It is Thursday, April 4th, and you know, we got some NFL news, breaking news. We're going to talk about it today. The NBA, a lot of great things are going on. We're going to talk about it here today, and of course, it is Final Four weekend. We have to cover it, and I got you here with The Breaks, baby. These are the breaks. You know what it is. For those of you that is new to the show, I am Mykell Mathieu, here to give you all the latest and greatest when it comes to breaking news in the sports and entertainment world. We're going to start off gridiron. We got to take you to the field. We're going to start with our NFL talk. A big trade happened yesterday that surprised everybody. Stephon Diggs was traded from the Buffalo Bills. He is going to be a Houston Texan. Diggs and a 5th and 6th round pick traded to the Texans for a 2nd round pick, and not this year, but next year's drafts. I know that Bill fans are like, what the hell is going on? The Bills, a team that, you know, are hoping to always be right there when it comes to competing with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But now they lose so many players. The Bills, clearly, it looked like they're rebuilding. We're going to see what Josh Allen is really about, because Patrick Mahomes, he lost Tyreek Hill, but he still had Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and other weapons that he was able to use. But the Bills are going through it right now. I know Bills fans are going crazy because this rebuild came out of nowhere. So far, with losing Diggs, they lost Gabe Davis, Tre'Davious White, bye-bye. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Leonard Floyd, and etc. Like, this team was a team last year that people were like, hey, they should win the Super Bowl or make it, but the Chiefs were able to knock them off at home. Now, they're a whole new team. So it's going to be crazy there in Buffalo. But, hey, I said it earlier in the offseason that the team that I felt that would take the biggest jump next year, that would be the number one competition for the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to the AFC, was the Houston Texans. Boom. And they make this move that is going to make them so much more amazing. C.J. Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year, looked like he belonged. They got to the divisional round of the playoffs. Yeah, they got smacked up, but they're going to be much better. You add Joe Mixon out of the backfield to help give them a running game, a guy that can run it, catch the ball. You got Tank Dell that's still there. Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Noah Brown. At tight end, you have Dalton Schultz, who's a nice weapon. You got John Mechie III, who's a nice weapon. Like, one or two of those receivers is not even going to be on the team with the addition of Diggs. But Strode, they're doing it the right way with CJ. The Texans said, damn it, while we got our guy under this rookie contract, we have to try to get a Super Bowl. And they gave them all these pieces offensively. They have a defense that was really solid. They added Daniel Hunter, who's going to come in and bolster that pass rush to join Willie Anderson Jr. I'm telling you, Houston, stand up, because your Texans is going to be right there at the end. I'm saying it right now. The AFC Championship is going to have to go through either Kansas City or Houston, because both of these teams are top-notch football teams. So let me know out there, break lovers, what do you guys feel about the trade? Do you think the Texans clearly won, or maybe you might think Diggs is falling off and it's a bad pickup for the Texans? Bills fans, what are you guys feeling right now? Do you like the rebuild? Or are you hoping that you can go and win Super Bowls and try to get after it? But it's going to be really, really tough for that Buffalo Bills team, because now you go from hearing these mock drafts where maybe they add a receiver to help out Stephon Diggs. Now it's like, who could possibly be a number one for us with some potential? That's when you're going to start hearing Brian Thomas from LSU, Keon Coleman from Florida State. It's just going to be a big adjustment, and it's crazy because you have a quarterback like Josh Allen in his prime of primes. With the way that he plays quarterback, how he runs the ball, takes big hits, you don't know how much longer you're going to get of this prime. And for you to trade your top guy, I know it is a very head-scratching move for the Bills fans, for the ones who like Diggs, because some of them are like, we're tired of this headache. He's not making the same plays like he used to make and things like that. But I'm telling you, the Texans and C.J. Stroud are going to love this pickup. He's a possession guy. He can beat one-on-ones. It is a great move, and that's what makes the NFL so great. Because whenever you think things are going to be quiet, nothing's really going to happen, let's wait until the end of the month with the draft. You get a big trade out of nowhere where Diggs is going to be moving to the Houston Texans. So shout out to the Houston Texans. You got better. And as a Chiefs fan, you know, somebody's on the Chiefs side. Damn, it is going to be tough to see those Texans next year. But speaking of the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champs, they have a lot going on right now. They were able to re-sign Clyde Edwards-Helaire, sign him to a one-year deal. He's going to be one of the backups to Isaiah Pacheco, and it's a smart move. Some Chiefs fans didn't like it, but it's a smart move. They drafted the guy a few years ago, first round. He knows the system. He can catch the ball. He can run. He's improved as a pass blocker because it's looking like McKinnon may not be back because they had J.K. Dobbins in there. The Chiefs may draft someone or maybe sign someone like Dobbins, but you have to keep a vet around that knows what's going on. And I like Clyde because if you get him some nice holes, he can go get you 100 yards, catch you some balls, and that's always good for Patrick Mahomes. But for the Chiefs, can the Kansas City Chiefs actually be no longer in Kansas? In Missouri? Can the Kansas City Chiefs actually go from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas? It is a possibility because there was a vote, and the voters rejected the stadium tax for the Royals and the Chiefs to where both teams might move across the state line and go from Missouri to Kansas. So for all those people who are like myself when I was younger who say Kansas City, that has to be in the state of Kansas, right? No. Kansas City Chiefs, they're in Missouri, but they may be moving to Kansas. And it's going to be crazy because a lot of Chiefs fans in Missouri are hating on it. But let's see what's going to happen. Because, hell, even Dallas, their mayor is like, come on back. For those of you guys who don't know the history, the Chiefs were the Dallas Texans. So the Dallas mayor is like, hey, we can have two teams. If L.A. can do it, New York can do it, we can do it too. So it's going to be crazy, something to follow because Patrick Mahomes is he should still be playing and still really great at that time. So we got to keep our eyes on that, Kansas City fans. But let's go to somebody that's a part of the Chiefs that's breaking all the rules. His name is Rashee Rice, the young receiver who came on and was a quick star for the Chiefs, who became the best receiver early on, led to the Chiefs winning a Super Bowl. The guy got into a huge accident, and he was nowhere to be found. Nobody can find him. They're like, what's going on? Is it him? Is it this guy? Is it John Doe? Nobody knew what was going on, but he has been found. He's lawyered up. He put out a statement yesterday giving his apologies and saying that he's working with Dallas PD. It's just a situation that, you know, is very murky. I can't wait to hear more of the story. But Rashee Rice, you are on a team with a franchise that can take you and your career to another level. You can't be making these dumb mistakes. You got to get yourself together. Keep yourself around people that's going to keep you from doing knucklehead moves like this one. You crash your car, it's your fault. Be there, everybody. Learn that lesson. You did it. Make sure that you pay for your consequence because it might not be as bad as you think. But I got more for you. That's all the talk I got for the NFL. But come back. We got to talk the Final Four. Final Four weekend is here. It's going to be some great hoop. So make sure you guys return after the break.
These are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. You're more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Welcome back. Thanks once again for joining me, Mykell Mathieu here. What's your favorite show? The Breaks here on this beautiful Thursday. Oh my gosh, we got some big hoop that's coming up after we just had some amazing hoop, but you got to get your backpack, your notebook ready because we're taking you to Break University. And I got to start with the ladies. The ladies are shining bright right now when it comes to college hoops. After a great Elite Eight where you saw LSU, Iowa, man, it's over there looking like WWE, how exciting it is. You got Caitlin Clark, who's your Steve Austin, who's there, who's whooping ass and taking names, who's knocking down big-time shots. You had your, people's champ, or, kind of the corporate champ, and Angel Reese, who was knocked off, who defeated Iowa last year. They were knocked off, but what a game it was. 12.3 million people watched this game, and it was dynamite. It shows you that blend of Steph Curry, Steve Nash, that Caitlin Clark is amazing. And when you're looking at her team, some players are stepping up and making some plays, but a lot of that engine goes because of Caitlin Clark, and she hasn't disappointed. It seems like the spotlight is nothing at all to her. She wants that spotlight, and I'm happy that she's moving on to face off against the UConn Huskies, who were able to knock off USC in a great game. Juju Watkins, Paige Beckers. It was something that I said a couple weeks ago. This is what you want to see, the superstar names. If Caitlin Clark is Steve Austin, Angel Reese is The Rock, Juju Watkins will be like the young John Cena coming in with the big name and the energy and the great game to it. And Paige Beckers is Triple H, somebody that people should respect more, that does their job and do their thing, because it is very entertaining looking at these women's basketball. Like, I can't believe so many people I know that for years we grew up watching NBA hoop and, college basketball, NCAA men, and we would rush home to go and check out these elite games. But people were rushing home, having parties to watch these women play, and it was big time. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Final Four. We have, like I said, Iowa, UConn. Man, I just think that UConn has too much. I know Caitlin Clark is going to be amazing, going to put up her stats, but they're going to learn from what they saw from LSU, and they have so many players. They have Paige Beckers, Aaliyah Edwards, who's going to be a top 10 pick in the WNBA draft this year. UConn has so much talent, and Gino is like, I need to show everybody, damn it, I am back. I think UConn take care of Iowa in a classic. On the other end, South Carolina, the best team in the tournament. They have talent from top to bottom. Coach Don Staley is doing her thing. They're the new UConn right now, a team that hasn't lost this season. It looks like no one is going to be able to beat them. They got Cordoza, who can possibly be a top 5 pick in the WNBA draft, maybe coming to the Los Angeles Sparks. But they're going to be going up against a team who kind of came out of nowhere. NC State caught fire, start playing some really good basketball. But South Carolina's way too much. They got too much talent. They have the best coaching. Not only do I think that they knock off NC State, I think that they're going to go on and win this national championship because they're that talented, that deep, and that well coached. So what do you guys like, man? What has been your favorite part of the women's side of the NCAA tournament? Because it has been dynamite, and it is carrying NCAA hoops right now. But I can't forget about the fellas. We got to talk about the fellas. First, we're going to start with Bronny. Bronny has entered the transfer portal after Coach Enfield is going to be moving on to SMU. I don't know what's next for Bronny. I hope it's not the NBA draft because he's clearly not ready to be a pro, but maybe he goes to Ohio State. You know, he go back to the state of Ohio where he was born, you know, where he was partially raised. Or maybe he go to some other school that we aren't talking about right now. But Bronny needs to go to a school where he can get a lot of burn. He can play as much as he need to. He can get the ball, tighten up his skills so that he can get himself to be an NBA player. He has the athleticism. Now he needs to work on the game. So hopefully he picks the right location for his skills. But we got to talk to Final Four because there's going to be some good basketball. NC State versus Purdue. Purdue, the number one team last year that was knocked off in the first round, is here in the Final Four. Zach Edey, a guy that I feel is going to have a solid pro career. Count this down. Remember this. He's going to have at least an 8 to 10-year career because a guy that's 7'4", that's that skilled, is going to find ways to get minutes, and he's showing you with his dominant performance in the tournament. So Purdue, NC State, DJ Burns is a surprise. That guy is balling. That team reminds me a lot of the old LSU team. Big Baby Davis, Tyrus Thomas. Of course, he's that Big Baby Davis figure. But I think his run comes to an end because Purdue is so hungry. They're like, we have to prove everybody that we mean business. We should have been in this point last year. Didn't happen. And Zach Edey is on a mission to not only shut up the naysayers in college ranks, but to shut up those pro guys who said he won't be able to be a good NBA player. He's going to be ready to go, but I can't wait to see the Goliath versus Goliath. Burns versus Edey is going to be dynamite. It's going to be big time. But we have Alabama, who's a Cinderella team right now. They got hot. They making their run. I know Nick Saban is proud because it's not his football guys. It's the hoop guys that's carrying on the torch for Alabama, and they're going to be playing against the favorite, the UConn Huskies, who has been looking like the best team throughout this year. They're another team that's similar to South Carolina on the ladies' side. Well coached. They have so much depth. The talent is there. I think that they find a way to make it happen. We're going to get number one versus number one, Purdue, UConn in a national championship. And I'm going to go with Purdue. I think Purdue is going to find a way to upset UConn.
Winner.
Zach Edey is going to go out on top. We're going to remember him, a figure like Patrick Ewing was in college. He's going to be the same thing because he is going to get a national championship title. So you guys let me know what you think. How much have you loved what you've seen so far when it comes to the NCAA tournament? Because there's been some good basketball. Hope they don't make any changes to it. I love what they're doing with the NCAA tournament. We just need players to play longer. The reason why Zach Edey is such a big star and a big name, because he's been in college for so long. And we missed that in college basketball. So hopefully we see more and more of it. These top guys. Next year you got Cooper Flagg coming in and some other players. And McDonald's was yesterday or a couple days ago. So shout out to NCAA. They're making it happen. Some great basketball, ladies side, men's side. Hopefully the ladies can keep this momentum because after Caitlin Clark, still got Juju. Paige Becker's coming back. Hopefully they can keep this momentum. But it's been exciting. I love the madness of March. I hate that it's done, but we're not done yet. Final Four weekend is going to be crazy, but we're not finished. Here at The Breaks, NBA talk, baby. And, of course, you get to break out with yours truly after this break.
And these are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your break, because be ready. I got more heat for you here. Once again, Mykell Mathieu here to give you everything you need when it comes to sports entertainment world. We got to finish up with the NBA. NBA fast break. Come with me. Get on the wing. I got you. Let's get to these layups. Joel Embiid made his surprise return Tuesday night. Yeah, he was questionable. The next thing you know, he's going to play. And boy, did he play. Finished that game, 24.6 rebounds, 7 assists. Of course, he's out there trying to get his win back. But he looked really good. They had no Tyrese Maxey. They were able to pick up a big win over the OKC Thunder, who were without 2 of their top guys. But still, it's good to see Joel Embiid back. One of my favorite players to watch. So much skill. I said it a couple weeks ago. One of the most skilled players to ever play. To be that big with the handles, the step back, the shooting, post game, defense, all of those things, he is special, and he showed it in his return. 24, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He had the game-winning free throws. He went and got the basket, knocked it down. He's 12 for 12 from the free throw line. He knows how to get to the line. Whether he's foul baiting or not, he knows how to get to the line, and he makes good things happen. He was able to get those game-winning free throws. He got the steal to put them up from 1 to 3 points, and that was game. So it's good to see him be back. He was on his way to being the MVP. Now he's going to give a different look to the Sixers, because now with a healthy Embiid, you have to deal with Kyle Lowry. You have Tyrese Maxey there, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris. They have a complete team, and if he's healthy, they would have been a top 3 team in the East. Now he's here. If they can get in, whether it's through the play-in or if they can somehow avoid it, watch out for the Sixers with your upset special. I got to bring it back here to L.A. Kawhi Leonard, he's dealing with knee soreness, and I know Clipper fans are like, not again. It seems to always happen. I feel sorry for them. Definitely being in the building, covering them, doing my thing for Full Clips, Clippers Unleashed. It's sad to see, but hopefully they're just being cautious. It's not too much. But the Clippers, they lost their last game playing against the Sacramento Kings. They have a 2-game lead in the 4th seed. 3-game lead over the play-in. So they have to continue to win games, because if they make mistakes, they could be in a play-in. A team with championship aspirations after the James Harden trade. You telling me a team with James Harden, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell might be a play-in team? It is possible if they don't get their act together, but I'm hoping. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed that Kawhi Leonard can be healthy, and we can see him at his best in the playoffs, because he's a special, special player. Shout out to a guy who played for the Lakers, helped win a championship with the Lakers, who's calling it quits. He's retiring. Rajon Rondo, man, a great, great point guard. One of the last of the dying breeds. I believe that Chris Paul may be the last one left. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton might carry the torch. But true point guards who really wants to get players better, who really about getting buckets for their other guys. A guy who's a true leader, defender. He was a big part of that Boston Celtic team. No matter about the big 3, without Rajon Rondo, they don't win a championship with that Celtics big 3. He was huge with so many games for them, and he's calling it quits. He did it on All the Smoke podcast. He deserved all the praise. Hey, one day he may be an NBA head coach. I'm saying it here first, because that guy was that smart, that gifted. He probably is maybe in the Hall of Fame. We'll see what happens, but kudos to you, Rajon Rondo. Great, great career. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, we got to talk about it. VC, yesterday, he was put into the Hall of Fame, was voted in. Him and big shot Chauncey Billups, they're both Hall of Famers now. And I know some people are like, what? How was Chauncey Billups, maybe even how was Vince Carter a Hall of Fame? But those guys were big names from college to the pros. Billups was a champion. Vince Carter, one of probably the greatest dunker of all time. There's no way in hell you can't put him to the a Hall of Fame with him being VC, that guy. But I've said it all along. I can't wait, and I'm hoping if I can ever have a sit-down with Adam Silver, I'm going to bring it up. The NBA need their own Hall of Fame because there's some guys that shouldn't be in the same class as Vince Carter's, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe's, the Chauncey Billups, who were great NBA players, great professional players in the greatest basketball league in the world. So I think it's about time, or they should be talking about it, thinking about having an NBA Hall of Fame. The NFL has their own Hall of Fame. College football has their own Hall of Fame. Why not have the Basketball Hall of Fame? And you can have the NBA Hall of Fame, which will, quiet some of the naysayers from talking reckless about some of these players getting in. So shout out to those two, man, two guys that, I watched a lot of. Vince Carter, what he did with the Raptors and going to the Nets. And Chauncey Billups started off slow but caught fire with the Pistons. He still owe me because he took away a championship from Shaq and Kobe, which would have gave them 4. But they deserved it. He was the leader of that Pistons team. But to keep it pushing, keep it going, it's time to break out with yours truly, my favorite part of the show. And I just gave love. I'm a person for other people. I like to spread love, and I want to show love. I love talking about music. Of course, I'm going to talk about Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole some more. But I have to give a shout-out to artists from Compton, Buddy. If you're a music fan, a hip-hop fan, hopefully you know his name. If not, go and search this guy's name. Has some dope projects. But to me, he has the hottest album out right now. Him and Future are fighting hand in hand. Future got the singles and the hits. But when it comes to just pure great music, great lyricism, melodies, vibes, go and check out Buddy. Don't forget to breathe. The project is amazing. When I heard it, I had to play it back like time after time after time because Buddy did his thing. And speaking of Kendrick Lamar, speaking of Drake, J. Cole, I'm disappointed. Drake and J. Cole. It's been over a week since we got like that from Future and Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar, and we still got no return. No shots fired back. Drake is still shooting these sub-tweets. Drake is still posting on Instagram talking mess at his tour. You telling me you can't go in and drop a little freestyle just to let Kendrick know, here goes some little bars. I got more coming for you. We need this. Hip-hop needs this back and forth. Of course, we don't want anybody killing each other and beef going that far, but we want to see that lyricism, the competitiveness, the competition that we saw from Jay-Z and Nas. So hopefully, J. Cole and Drake, they're cooking up something individually together. I don't know how they want to do it. I just want to see what they have for Kendrick because best believe Kendrick Lamar is ready for all the smoke. So I'm hoping we see more of that. I got to talk about my shows. Shout out to X-Men 97. The latest episode is out. It's really, really dope. If you haven't checked it out, it pretty much gave you 2 episodes in one. They follow Jubilee. They follow Storm in the next part and Forge. So shout out to that. Shout out to Bad Batch. 2 new episodes. Not 1, but 2 new episodes. Bad Batch, Star Wars. Y'all get what y'all doing. I love what you guys are doing. And I'm excited because I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to be able to go home after this, after covering the Clippers tonight, baby. I'm going to go and check out the new episode of Invincible. It's supposed to be the last episode of this season. So I know it's going to be amazing. I know it's going to be great. I cannot wait, baby. So make sure, if you haven't started watching yet, X-Men 97, Bad Batch, Invincible, for my cartoon fans that like action cartoons, you need to check it out. But hey, I'm tired. I need a break, and I got more work to do. The Clippers are here. They got the Nuggets. There's no Kawhi. Let's see what's going to happen. But, hey, make sure you guys tap in. Mykell the PG, Instagram, Twitter. I got you covered with all your latest and greatest sports takes. Catch you guys next week.